You think you are tired because life has been difficult. You think your body is heavy because the road ahead is steep. But I tell you, your exhaustion comes from something far less obvious. It comes from what you are carrying. And what you are carrying is not in your hands. It is not on your back. It is inside you. Imagine walking for years with a bag strapped to your shoulder. At first, it doesn't seem too heavy. You can carry it. You can still move forward. But over time, it begins to dig into your skin. You feel it pulling you down. Your posture changes. Your steps slow. And the strange thing is you have forgotten what's inside the bag. You've carried it for so long, you don't even open it anymore. You just assume it must still be important. This bag is your old pain. It's your grudges. It's your regrets. It's all the times you said, "I'll never forget this." And you didn't. It's all the people you've mentally put on trial over and over again. The moments you replay in your head as if reliving them could make them turn out differently. And here is the truth you must hear: that bag is heavier than you think. You tell yourself, it doesn't matter anymore. You tell yourself, I've moved on. But have you? Because if it truly didn't matter, you wouldn't still bring it up in your thoughts when you're alone. If you truly moved on, you wouldn't still feel that small tightening in your chest when their name is mentioned. The problem is we get used to carrying the weight. We stop noticing it. And when we stop noticing it, we stop questioning it. We begin to believe that life is just supposed to feel this heavy. But life is not meant to be walked with chains around your ankles. Life is meant to be walked with a clear mind, with a body that moves freely, with a heart that has space for new things to enter. Think about it. You are trying to climb the mountain of your dreams, but at the same time, you are dragging behind you all the failures you've had, all the betrayals you've suffered, all the words that wounded you. Do you know what that means? It means you are fighting two battles at the same time, one to reach the top and one against your own history. And here is the dangerous part. The weight doesn't just slow you down. It changes how you see the world. When you are carrying anger from the past, you look at the future with suspicion. When you are carrying regret, you look at opportunities with hesitation. When you are carrying bitterness, you look at people with doubt. And you tell yourself you are just being careful, when in truth, you are just being weighed down. I have met many people who are incredibly strong physically, incredibly intelligent mentally, but they cannot move forward because of what they have never put down. They are like a fast car with the brakes locked. The engine roars, but the wheels do not turn. Sometimes we even hold on to the weight because it feels like a part of us. The pain becomes part of our identity. I am the one who was betrayed. I am the one who was wronged. I am the one who failed. We don't realize that as long as we keep telling ourselves that story, we cannot write a new one. And here is something else you must see clearly. Carrying old baggage is not loyalty to your past. It is punishment to your present. You think, if I let this go, it means what happened didn't matter. No, it means you refuse to let it hurt you twice. It means you have decided that what happened is already enough damage, and you will not let it keep taking from you. If you want to know how heavy your baggage really is, ask yourself this: if I could erase all the resentment, the grudges, the self-blame, and the anger I am holding, would I have more energy for the life I want? Would I feel lighter? Would my decisions change? If the answer is yes, even a small yes, then it is time to question why you are still holding it. Because the truth is, the world will not take that bag from you. No one will reach into your heart and pull out the bitterness for you. This is your work. This is your responsibility. And I know it is not easy. Putting something down means facing it honestly. It means opening the bag and looking at what's inside. The memories you've avoided, the emotions you've buried. That's why many people never do it. They prefer to carry the weight they know rather than face the pain they've hidden. But if you dare to face it, you will discover something powerful. Most of what you're carrying is no longer real. It exists only in your mind now. The events are over. The people are gone. The wounds have closed. What remains is the habit of holding on. And habits can be broken. There is a lightness waiting for you that you have forgotten is possible. A way of walking through life without feeling like every step costs you twice as much energy. Imagine waking up tomorrow with no resentment, no replaying of old scenes, No quiet bitterness living in your chest. Imagine meeting people without suspicion. Imagine making choices without fear of repeating the past. This is what it feels like to put the bag down. It does not mean you forget. It means you choose to walk without chains. It means you finally understand the heaviest weight you carry is the one you choose not to release. And the moment you put it down, you will move faster, breathe easier, and see the world more clearly than you have in years. You have been strong enough to carry it all this time. Now be strong enough to let it go. The past is a strange thing. It's always behind us, yet somehow it finds a way to stand in front of us. It becomes a shadow that stretches into our present, blocking our view of what's ahead. We tell ourselves that time moves forward, but the truth is many people live in circles. The body moves into a new day, but the mind wakes up in the same old story. This is the trap. The past has a purpose. It is supposed to teach you. Every mistake, every success, every heartbreak, every victory, it all holds a lesson. But too many people mistake the lesson for the prison cell. They stay locked inside old events, believing they are protecting themselves from future harm, when in fact they are just repeating yesterday in 1,000 different ways. You see, there is a difference between carrying wisdom and carrying wounds. Wisdom gives you clarity. It lets you see the pattern and avoid it. Wounds cloud your sight. They make you doubt every step. And the problem is, we often confuse the two. We think our hesitation is intelligence, when often it is just fear wearing a clever disguise. Think of a person who touched fire once and got burned. The lesson is simple: fire burns. That is wisdom. But if that same person spends the rest of their life avoiding all warmth, all light, all situations where heat might exist, then the fire is still controlling them long after the flames have gone out. This is how many people live. Something hurt them once, so they let the memory keep hurting them 1,000 more times. You must understand, the past will never stop knocking on your door, but you decide whether you open it and let it sit at your table every day. You can greet it, take the lesson it offers, and then send it away. Or you can let it move in and make itself at home in your mind, rearranging your present to look just like your yesterday. The most dangerous thing about living in the past is that it feels familiar. Familiarity feels safe, even when it's not. You may not like what happened, but you know it. And the human mind is addicted to what it knows. This is why people return to the same type of relationships that broke them before. This is why they chase the same patterns that once destroyed them. It's not because they want the pain. It's because they are more comfortable with the pain they know than the uncertainty they don't. But here is the truth you must see clearly. You cannot walk toward the life you want if your eyes are always looking over your shoulder. The past is like an anchor. It will always pull you back to where you have already been, unless you lift it out of the water. And lifting it does not mean pretending it never happened. It means understanding it so completely that it no longer has power over you. It means you can look at it without feeling the same emotion that once controlled you. It means you have taken the lesson and the rest can dissolve. Ask yourself, what are you keeping alive that should have been put to rest? Is it an old argument, a missed opportunity, a betrayal, a version of yourself you no longer are? Many people say they want change, but in truth, they are afraid of it. Change means letting go of the stories that have defined you for years. If you were the person who failed in the past, letting go means you can no longer hide behind that failure as an excuse. If you were the person who was wronged, letting go means you no longer get to use that pain as your shield. Without the past to lean on, you must face the uncertainty of the present moment fully. This is why the past is such a tempting prison. You know its walls, you know its corners, and as long as you stay inside it, you don't have to face the wide, open, unpredictable world beyond it. But that safe, familiar place is also the reason you feel trapped. There is a better way to hold your past. Not as a burden, not as an identity, but as a library. A place you visit when you need guidance, but you do not live there. A place where you can walk in, take a lesson, and walk out stronger. When you hold your past like a library, you begin to see patterns without becoming trapped by them. You can say, I've seen this before, and I know where it leads, without feeling the need to relive it. You can say, this situation reminds me of something painful, without deciding that pain is the only possible outcome. And here is the freedom that comes with this shift. you realize the past has no authority over you except the authority you give it. Every day, you can decide whether it is your teacher or your warden. You can decide whether you are carrying a compass or wearing a chain. But you must be honest with yourself. Look closely. Are you using your past as wisdom, or are you using it as an excuse? Are you saying, I know better now, and stepping forward? Or are you saying, I've been hurt before, and standing still? There is a moment in life when you must choose to graduate from your past, to take the diploma, the lesson, and leave the school. If you keep showing up to the same classroom after the lesson is learned, you are not a student anymore. You are just refusing to leave. The truth is, the past is only as heavy as you decide to carry it. Some people carry it like a stone in their pocket, small enough to remind them where they've been, but not enough to slow them down. Others carry it like a boulder on their back, so large that every step forward is a struggle. The size of the weight is not determined by the event itself, but by your decision to hold it or release it. And release does not mean weakness. It means you have taken the value from it and no longer need the rest. It means you are ready for life to teach you new lessons instead of replaying the old ones. Do not let your mind become a museum of pain, where you walk through the same exhibits year after year, telling yourself the same story about what happened and why you can't move on. Let it become a gallery of growth, a place where the past is displayed only to show how far you've come, not how stuck you've been. When you understand that your past is a teacher, not a prison, you stop fearing it. You can visit it without living in it. You can honor it without obeying it. And then you are truly free to walk toward the life you have not yet lived. Because the past may shape you, but it does not have to define you. People misunderstand forgiveness. They hear the word and they imagine surrender. They think it means accepting what was done to them, letting it go without justice, pretending it didn't matter. And so, they resist it. They hold on to the pain instead, believing that if they release it, they are letting the other person win. But forgiveness is not for them. It is for you. When you hold anger in your heart, it burns like a coal. You tell yourself you're keeping it because you might need it. To remember to protect yourself, to stay strong. But here's the reality: the longer you hold that burning coal, the more damage it does to your own hand. The one it harms most is you. Some of you have been carrying that coal for years. It has shaped the way you see the world, the way you trust, the way you love. And maybe you think you've contained it, that you've tucked it away in a corner of your heart where it can't touch your daily life. But anger is not passive. It leaks, it spreads, it touches everything. Think about how many times you've looked at someone new and thought, they'll probably hurt me too. Think about how many moments of joy you've cut short because a memory came back. Think about how many relationships never had a chance because you were still holding someone else's shadow over them. This is what unforgiveness does. It takes from your present to feed the pain of your past. And I know there are some wounds so deep that the idea of forgiveness feels impossible. Maybe you were betrayed in a way that shattered your trust. Maybe you were treated unfairly, robbed of something you can never get back. And you think, if I forgive, it's like saying it was okay. But forgiveness is not saying it was okay. Forgiveness is saying, it will no longer control me. It is choosing to take back the space in your mind, your body, and your spirit that the pain has been occupying. It is not weakness. It is the highest form of strength, because it means you are willing to face the hurt fully and still decide it will not own you. There is a moment you must understand clearly. Holding on to anger is like keeping a door open for the one who hurt you. They may be gone from your life physically, but through your thoughts, through your bitterness, they still visit you every day. You replay their words, their actions, the way it all happened, and in doing so, you let them live rent-free in the very place that should belong only to you. When you forgive, you close that door, not to pretend they were never there, but to protect the peace that belongs to you now. And here is something important: forgiveness does not mean reconciliation. It does not mean you must let that person back into your life. Forgiveness is an internal decision. It is a release you make for your own sake, whether or not they even know about it. It is about you deciding that your emotional freedom matters more than carrying proof of the wrong they did. Some people keep their pain like evidence in a courtroom. They replay it to themselves, to friends, to anyone who will listen, because in a way it feels like justice to keep showing the wound. But what you must see is that you are the one on trial. You are the one trapped in that courtroom, and no verdict will ever be delivered that gives you your peace back. The only way to leave that room is to walk out, to lay the evidence down and say, "This case is closed. I know it's not easy." The mind clings to pain because it believes that remembering it will keep you safe. It whispers, if you let go, you might forget, and if you forget, it could happen again. But the truth is, letting go of the emotion does not erase the lesson. You can keep the wisdom and release the poison. You can remember what happened without having to relive it. Forgiveness is not a single step, it's a process. Sometimes you forgive in the morning and take it back at night. Sometimes you forgive in words but not yet in feeling. That's okay. Every time you choose to release even a little bit of the resentment, you loosen the chains it has around you. And slowly, something changes. The memories stop stinging the same way. The name you couldn't hear without feeling rage becomes just a name. The energy you used to spend holding the grudge starts flowing into other parts of your life. You begin to feel lighter. One day, you wake up and realize you no longer need them to admit what they did. You no longer need an apology. You no longer need the story to end the way you once wanted it to. You have ended it yourself. And in that moment, you will understand the real meaning of freedom. The greatest victory is not in making them see they're wrong. The greatest victory is in living so fully, so joyfully, that their actions no longer have the power to shape your life. Forgiveness is not about erasing the past. It is about reclaiming the future. You cannot hold on and move forward at the same time. Your hands can either cling to what is behind you or reach for what is ahead, but they cannot do both. And yet so many people try. They grip old grudges, old stories, old versions of themselves, while also stretching desperately toward new dreams. The result is that they stay stuck in the middle, never fully in the past, never fully in the future, always pulled in two directions. Every grudge you keep, every bitterness you store, every memory you refuse to release, it is taking up space. Space in your thoughts, in your emotions, in your heart. You may not notice it at first, but over time, it crowds out everything else. Like a room filled with old furniture, there is no place for anything new to enter. Opportunities come, but there's no space for them to stay. People arrive, but they find the door blocked by old pain. The danger is that the things you refuse to release do not just stay in one corner of your life. They spread. They shape how you speak, how you trust, how you respond to situations that have nothing to do with the original wound. You start making decisions not based on where you want to go, but based on where you have been. And so, you keep circling the same patterns, not because the world refuses to give you more, but because you have not created the space to receive it. Think of your life as a garden. Every plant requires soil, light, and water to grow. If your garden is filled with weeds, with resentment, with grudges, with the endless replay of old stories, there will be no room for new seeds to take root. You can shout at the seeds all you want, telling them to grow faster, but if the soil is already occupied, nothing will change. And this is why letting go is so powerful. It is not just about feeling lighter, it is about making space. You cannot invite new experiences while hosting old anger. You cannot welcome new relationships while clinging to the ghosts of old ones. You cannot step into a new chapter while carrying the pages of the last one under your arm. Sometimes people say, "I let go when I see proof that something better is coming." But that's not how life works. The space must come first. The clearing must happen before the arrival. It's like cleaning out a room in your home. You don't wait for the new furniture to show up before you make space for it. You clear the space in faith, knowing something better is coming. But I know why so many people resist this. Letting go feels like loss. The pain may be heavy, but it is familiar. The story may be old, but it is yours. Even your grudges can start to feel like companions, reminders of who you were, what you went through, what you survived. Parting with them feels like erasing a part of yourself. But the truth is, you are not erasing yourself when you let go. You are revealing yourself. You are removing the dust and debris that have been covering who you truly are. You are giving yourself permission to exist without being defined by what has already happened. And here's something you must see clearly. Letting go is not forgetting. It is choosing to carry only what serves you. You can keep the lesson, the strength, the wisdom, and still set down the weight of the pain. You can honor what you went through without turning it into the foundation of the rest of your life. If you think about it, every moment you spend holding on to something old is a moment you are not living in the present. And the present is the only place life actually happens. The future is built here, not back there. If your energy is tied up in replaying what happened, you have less to invest in what is happening now. And the future you desire will always feel out of reach, not because it is far away, but because you have no hands free to take hold of it. There is also a deeper truth. When you let go of what no longer belongs in your life, you make space not just for new things, but for the right things. The wrong people, the wrong situations, the wrong opportunities can feel like they fit when you are still full of old pain, because that pain distorts your sense of what you deserve. But when you clear the space and stand in it with clarity, you start to see the difference. You start to say no to what drains you. You start to recognize when something aligns with the person you are becoming, not the person you used to be. Letting go is an act of trust. Trust that your worth is not tied to what you have already experienced. Trust that life still has more for you. Trust that you do not need to carry every part of your past in order to honor it. And trust that if your hands are empty, something will come to fill them. It will not happen overnight. There will be days you want to reach back and pick up what you put down. There will be moments when the emptiness feels uncomfortable. But if you can sit in that space without rushing to fill it with what is familiar, you will discover something incredible. The space itself is freedom. The space is possibility. And in that space, something new will grow. Something that could not have entered when your life was cluttered with yesterday's pain. You will see opportunities you once missed. You will connect with people you never noticed before. You will make choices that are based on who you are now, not who you were then. When you clear the old, you invite the future. When you create space, life rushes to fill it. And that is why letting go is not the end of something. It is the beginning of everything.